Om. Namaste. We will take and we will see how far we are able to understand, how far we are able to invoke these divinities, and how far we are able to go into Samyama or in the process of Kamakakshit Japa or any other daily rituals or daily meditation or Dhyana, even during Akshara Mala Dhyana. This can be involved anywhere. Wherever possible, we will involve it. We will keenly listen to it and apply our thoughts, our actions, our spiritual knowledge, our spiritual knowing, as well as our connectivity with the divinities. After the Mahabharata war was over, in which only 13 persons were alive, all having been killed. 8 persons from Pandavas, 3 persons from Kaurava were the only 11 members who were able to survive, apart from one person, Karna's son Vrishaketu, who was too young to take part in Mahabharata war. Subsequent to the death of Karna, Arjuna comes to know that Karna was his eldest brother and Vrishaketu was his lost son. Arjuna showers all his love and affection on him and trains him in all kind of warfare also. This apart, after the Mahabharata war was over, all the 99 sons of Gandhari, having been totally removed from the scene through death, it looks like a very painful affair for a mother to bear the death of 99 sons. Understanding this painful incident which had happened, Sri Krishna wants to console Gandhari Devi. So he makes a visit to Gandhari's palace to offer his condolences and also give a soothing touch to Mother Gandhari so that some pain could be reduced. Sri Krishna has some other idea behind his visit also, but since Sri Krishna says that all acts on this world are done by me, as decided by me, he has no inclination towards any kind of worry. Because all acts are done by him, he is part of it. He knows he is a Trikala. He knows the past, the present and the future also. Let us keep this in mind. Now Krishna visits Gandhari's palace to offer his condolences. On the contrary, on arrival of Sri Krishna at Gandhari's palace, Gandhari is taken by a angry mood and she is not in a mood to welcome Sri Krishna, but she is spitting all kind of venom, all poisonous coming from her mind, although not spitting through the mouth. She feels that Sri Krishna, if at all he had minded, he could have saved her sons by stopping the war. But it was unfortunate that her husband was incapable of taking a decision. Her husband Dhritarashtra was incapable of controlling his son, nor the ill-minded Duryodhana was ready to listen to his mother or father. Although he had no authority, all authorities were with Dhritarashtra. He was not caring for any words of advice from anybody, including the seers who were present in the Hastinapura. This being the case, there was no justification for Devi Gandhari to feel ill about Sri Krishna. However, on his part, Sri Krishna offers his condolence for loss of 99 sons of Gandhari Devi, and Sri Krishna himself not finding suitable words to console and offer some kind of soothing like balm to the wounds of the mind of Gandhari Devi. Diplomatic plays a role, although not openly spitting. Gandhari keeps everything in her mind and utters to Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, you have brought total eradication of my sons. It is a sin on you. As a Pativrata, I cannot keep quiet and I will curse you. She says, you, along with all the Yadu Vamsha, that is the Yadava Vamsha, should perish 36 years from now, and none should be alive. Sri Krishna neither takes pain nor pleasure on getting these curses from Gandhari Devi, but smilingly says, Tatastu, let it happen, so it be, let it be, are the meaning for Tatastu. 36 years after the Mahabharata war passes, there happens to be a difference of opinion. The opinion becomes heated exchange. The heated exchange becomes blows between the brothers, between the cousins, between the father and son, in between the Yaduvamsha. All Yadavas fight for no reason and all perish. Nobody is left. After the news comes to Gandhari Devi that all Yadukula Vamsha, all Yadavas have been perished, she consoles herself. She gets a great relief. But on the other side, Sri Krishna knows that this could happen, this will happen, and this ought to have happened. Goes to a place called Baluka and wants to relax himself. He goes there, goes into Sayana Asana, keeps one foot over the other foot and relaxes in a deep Sayana Asana, Sayana Yoga Nidra. Fortunately or unfortunately, a hunter Jara comes there and sights Sri Krishna's big toe, assumes that toe to be a deer or some animal. He aims his poisonous arrow towards the toe of Sri Krishna, and the arrow attacks Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna is injured. Going nearby the body of Sri Krishna, who is with arrow having pierced his toe, Jara, taken by shock, did not know what to do. He sees he has aimed at Bhagavan Sri Krishna, but not on an animal. Pleads guilty, bows before Sri Krishna, asks for forgiveness. Sri Krishna says, O Jara, Do not get perturbed. Do not get worried. All things happen in this universe according to my will and according to my plan. In the previous yuga, where you were born as a monkey king, Vali, I was Rama and I had become the cause of your death by deceit. At the time of you living the life, I had promised you that you will get a chance in your next birth where I will become Sri Krishna and you will become hunter. The same chance I am giving you, I have already given you. The karma never leaves anybody, including the divinity, is the lesson what you should learn. What chance you missed in your previous birth and previous yuga, you are being offered this yuga, this life. So there is nothing for you to get worried or feel guilty of your actions. Subsequent to this discussion, Jara and people who have gathered there take Sri Krishna for a first aid to a place called Goloka. The place where Sri Krishna was hit is approximately 3 to 4 kilometers from Somnath in Gujarat. From there in 1 or 2 kilometers, a place called Goloka, where Sri Krishna is being taken, treatments are given, but Sri Krishna knows that no treatment can stop him completing his 120 years of life on this earth with 120 years of different dashas of different Navagrahas having been completed by Sri Krishna. Just before this, in a small hole, Balarama had left for the abode. Through that hole, Sri Krishna leaves his body. Arjuna arrives there. Arjuna is the close relative of Sri Krishna. Antima Kriya of Sri Krishna has to be done by only Arjuna. Sri Krishna being the brother of Arjuna's wife Subhadra. All arrangements are made by Arjuna for Antima Kriya. Sri Krishna, Antima Kriya is completed. Sri Krishna's soul enters a small hole from the place where I mentioned as Goloka, a small hole, maybe about 2 inches dia, a small hole through which Sri Krishna's soul escapes and goes to a place called Goloka. After the Antima Kriya is over, the body is consigned to sacred flames, completes the rituals, and Arjuna gets into his chariot. He moves his chariot as per Sri Devi Bhagavatam. As the chariot of Arjuna moves from Dwaraka, the mystical city built by Sri Krishna, starts submerging. Looking at the submerging or the sea swallowing the Dwaraka city, Arjuna gives extra mileage speed to the horses. As the horses race, the sea chases the end wheel of chariot of Arjuna. Arjuna comes to the shore. Today's present Dwaraka, which is on the bed, entire mystical city of Dwaraka goes into water. Once this has happened, the Kali Yuga starts and Dwapara Yuga ends. I have already shown in one of the videos the photograph of Goloka. It's about 5-6 kilometers from Somanath temple, Goloka Dhama, a very sacred place where one can go sit there and meditate on Sri Krishna, get the vibration. Let us now discuss something about Goloka. What is Goloka? What does it mean? What it presents for us? Where it is referred? How it is referred? How it is described? Let us know something about Goloka. In the Bhagavata Purana, Sri Krishna has the highest spiritual soul. Garga Samyata, Brahma Samyata, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, or Sri Devi Bhagavata Purana. These Puranas describe about the Itihasa or the history, how the incidents had happened. They also describe about the Goloka. Goloka means where the cows are residing, the abode of cows. Another name for Sri Krishna also, Goloka Vihari, which means the resident of Goloka. He arrived on this earth from Goloka, but not from Vaikunta. Brahma Samhita describes Goloka as the place of tending cows by Govinda. Govinda is another name for Sri Krishna or Gopala. Goloka is surrounded by millions and millions of gems and millions of spiritual trees, which gives or fulfills all the desires. Sri Krishna in Goloka is surrounded by millions of devotees surrounding him. All the devotees resemble goddess of fortunes. They also call it as a Goloka Vrindavan, which is 6.4 billion kilometers above the Vaikunta. Now you can assume what is the distance of Goloka. And Goloka expands 385 to 400 million kilometers. Skanda Purana and Markandeya Purana also describe elaborately about the Goloka besides Bhagavad Gita. All Vaikunta planets are like petals of lotus with millions of petals and billions of petals. Goloka Vrindavan is said to be the center of all Vaikuntas. Brahma Samhita describes Goloka as Vishnu Loka, emanating from the predominating deity of Goloka Vrindavan, known as Swayam Bhagavan. In Goloka, Sri Krishna lives with 2 arms, whereas in Vaikunta, Vishnu lives with 4 arms. The souls who live in Goloka can never come or never descend to any lower lokas. Goloka is the highest eternal abode of Sri Krishna, or the highest God, or the highest divinity. Sri Krishna enters Goloka along with Radha or Radhika for an eternal journey. He goes there not with his consorts Rukmini or Satyabhama, but with Radha. The Yudha and Pingala remains here. The Sushumna Nadi goes to the Brahmarandhra. Now you will understand the difference between Yudha Pingala and Sushumna Nadi. Rukmini and Satyabhama are Yudha and Pingala. They get terminated at one place. Radha is a Sushumna Nadi which moves to Brahmarandhra or the Goloka Loka. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, maybe verse 5 I think, Sri Krishna very clearly says, we discussed this earlier also, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that those who relinquish their body while remembering me, at the time of leaving the body, they will come to me, and there is certainly no doubt about it. In the same chapter, in verse 16, Bhagavan says, in all the worlds of material creation, up to the highest realm of Brahmaloka, every individual will be subject to birth and as well as death. The cycle of birth is applicable up to the highest of Brahmaloka. Whereas those who attain me, there is neither death nor birth. Which is this abode? It is Goloka. The supreme of all is named as Goloka. Again I will show you the picture of Goloka hole in Goloka Dhamma. All of you would have seen it. Now, how long the curse works? There is no date of expiry for any curse, and there is no date of expiry for any boon also. Each one of them has equally valid with no expiry date until they are enjoyed. The fruit has to be enjoyed. The fruit of result of boon or the curse will not contaminate, will not perish until and unless they are enjoyed by the person on whom it was shot. Of course, all the curses will not yield result also, including that of Gandhari Mata also. She cursed all the Yadavas to be perished. But even today Yadavas are there. How it was possible? All Yadavas were not killed. There were women, there were young girls, there were young wives of several Yadavas who were pregnant at the time of death of all Yadavas. The curse was applicable to the descendants or the relatives of Sri Krishna and not of that of Sri Balarama. Balarama's children are killed, but Balarama's grandchildren are not killed. So all the curses may not work. In the same way, we may also miss all the boons. It is here we will have to invoke the fate or the free will in order to enjoy the good deeds of a boon or bad deeds of a curse. In our hands, all have been given which we can escape. Even in the case of Sri Krishna, he could have escaped the curse of Gandhari and could have saved all the Yadavas. But he wanted that to happen because he had a plan of action which we cannot question as Jivatmas. Once Paramatma decides, that is the final. Our duty is only to follow. Now, concentrate upon the curse, concentrate upon the abode of Sri Krishna, where he escapes only with Radha, not with Rukmani Satyabhama, not with Ida Pingala. Understand Ida Pingala, understand Sushumna Nadi and Radha, understand Balarama, Balarama's offsprings, the Mahavatar Yuddha which killed lakhs and lakhs of people, but only 13 of them surviving, and Vrishakeshu, who happens to be the son of Dhritarashtra, being the cousin brother of Duryodhana and 98 brothers, all put together 99. The 100th brother is Vrishakeshu, born to Dhritarashtra through the maid servant of Gandhari Devi. Let us keep all this incident together, assimilate them and recall them, keep at one bindu, concentrate on all the matters simultaneously and enter into Samyama, or when we invoke the Kamokarshit Japa on Purnimas, we will include this subject also, and let us see where we reach, how things of spiritual buds blossom within our hearts. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha. Om Sadguru Babaji Namaha.